The new article that just came out on KGW.com, an NBC affiliate in Portland. New data reveals Oregon's opioid plague still dire in rural counties. Rural America right now is struggling bad in this country, not only with the drug plague, but also all kinds of infectious diseases are cropping up in rural America. Okay, Oregon is prescribing fewer opioids. About 280 million pills were still given out last year. Wow, that's a lot of pills. Rural counties struggle the most with opioid addiction, and the state faces a long battle ahead. Last summer, Dwight Holton started getting fed up. The CEO of Lines for Life, which runs Oregon's drug and alcohol health line and suicide crisis line, worked for years to get the state's doctors to prescribe fewer opioids. I have been working on this issue since 2010, he said. I thought I had been very patient. I started to move from patient to pissed off. Holton watched year after year as doctors across the state kept issuing bountiful prescriptions for addictive opioids, such as hydrocodone and oxycodone. He said since the 1990s, drug companies have touted opioids as a high reward, low risk option for chronic pain, while the opposite was true. That sent the state and states across the country into daunting opioid plagues. Hospitalization and deaths from opioids rose, and people struggle with chronic pain, added addiction to their list of ailments. But Holton got surprisingly good news. In 2015, opioid prescriptions dropped in nearly all counties in Oregon. Newly released data from the Centers for Disease Control shows doctors are prescribing fewer opioids in 28 out of 36 counties in Oregon. Many counties saw the numbers drop by a third to half. But that doesn't mean the problem is going away anytime soon. About 280 million opioid pills were prescribed in Oregon last year. The issue persists mostly strongly in rural parts of the state. Oregonians in rural counties are far more likely to be prescribed opioids, with higher unemployment rates, lower incomes, and less access to treatment centers. Those who become addicted have more difficulty fighting back. Okay. A CDC released a report in July that shows opioid prescriptions decrease across the country, about 782 morphine milligrams equivalent per person in 2010 to 640 MMEs in 2015. The CDC measures prescriptions in MME, which can translate across varying strengths of opioid. Hydrocodone is a 1-to-1 ratio. 1 milligram of hydrocodone is 1 MME. Stronger opioids like oxycodone and methadone are higher than a 1-to-1 ratio. 2 tablets of 15 milligrams of oxycodone is equal to 50 MMEs, and 3 tablets of 5 milligrams of methadone is 50 MMEs. A common prescription tablet of 5 milligrams hydrocodone is 5 MMEs. That means in 2010, the average American was prescribed about 156 tablets of 5 milligrams of hydrocodone. In 2015, that dropped to 128 tablets per person. Oregon saw a drop from an average of 1,186 MMEs per capita in 2010 to 972 in 2015, or 237 5 milligrams hydrocodone tablets to 194 tablets per person. That drop was still not consistent across the state. So, it's amazing how people in the urban areas now are doing far greater than people in the rural areas. And it was the opposite way around for many decades in this country. Okay, rural Oregon struggles to combat opioid issues, which is common across the country. I can't believe how many diseases are cropping up in rural areas. Now they got a resistant gonorrhea that has popped up where drugs don't work on it at all. So now you got a junkie with incurable gonorrhea. You really can't touch these people anymore. You really shouldn't. But, the ones that insist on doing the swirling out here, I guess you're just going to have to learn the hard way. But some Oregon counties also have high unemployment rates, and low incomes saw a dramatic drop in opioid prescriptions. Grant County, which has the state's highest unemployment rate in 2015 at 9%, dropped from 882 MMEs per capita in 2010 to just 39 in 2015. But see, those areas also have higher heroin use, which they're not even talking about. So believe me, they are far from out of the woods. Whenever they can't get the opioid, they're going to run to the street drugs, and it's all over rural America. That's why HIV/AIDS is on the rise, because they're sharing needles from doing all of the heroin. And I noticed this article doesn't even touch on that at all. So they're having a big problem in rural America. The doctors are writing fewer scripts, which is really forcing people onto the street to the drugs or the illegal drugs that they can have delivered to their house from China. So I'm going to leave the link to this article in the description box, and you can come out here and read it for yourself. But please leave your comment and subscribe and donate to this channel. Peace, family.